Hi, friends. Welcome in. We are on episode 291. That means we are one more episode closer to 300. Can we believe this, Sarah? I cannot. Today's episode is all about diving into two essential oils because we are talking about an emotion that we feel is going to resonate with a lot of you. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Essential Oils Scoop podcast. We're here to help you confidently using essential oils in your daily life. No fluff, just real talk and practical tips. Each episode brings you education, inspiration, and of course, our scoop of the day. Let's elevate your wellness one drop at a time. So, I'm just going to say Malama and Geranium. They have something in common. And Sarah, what is that commonality? They have a lot, but today, what is that commonality that these oils have together?
So we were looking through the emotion of feeling abandoned. And so these two oils just kind of popped out at us. And I don't know if we've really deep dived into the emotional properties of these before. So we were like, let's go with this. And feeling abandoned can look like a couple of different things. This can also
Mhm.
feel like maybe you're being left out. Have you ever
Mhm.
been part of been part of a group, but maybe on the outskirts of a group and felt left out?
Third wheel
Third
situation.
wheel, fifth wheel, like kind of a situation where you're just like, I don't really belong here. So abandonment can look like different things. It doesn't mean you were actually abandoned. And it can be, right? You can have those emotions from some trauma or from some experiences in the past, but it can also look very similar to being left out of things, not being a part of a group, not being part of a an event, maybe a little bit of I don't want to say FOMO, but a little bit, you can feel like you're missing out a little bit on things. So I think it's a good topic. I think there's sometimes feel like 2020 kind of made us feel abandoned a little bit. I think we all have a little bit of trauma still from 2020 and COVID era of being left out of things, of not being able to, we mourn. I think we still a little bit, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I think we still mourn for like pre-COVID days a little bit of like those days long gone now, and we have to deal with certain things because of COVID or the after effects of COVID that have lasted for so long.
Mhm.
But I think we felt abandoned and felt out of place and felt like we were away from our community a lot.
Yeah, I love so the Essential Emotions book. One of the look deeper questions states for abandoned, it says, who or what do I feel has left me? And then the second one is, am I stuck in a cycle of self-protection, fearing that others won't support me?
Mm.
And the end of that second question, fearing that others won't support me, I can't tell you how many times my social media feed has been filled with the despair of someone feeling exactly that, the lack of support.
Hmm.
There's a lot of reels that have been coming to my field feed about relationships and love and what it takes to truly connect with your spouse. And more often than not, there's an undertone of one of them feeling less supported
Yeah.
that
And that
ties
can
into
also lead to
abandonment.
feelings of abandonment, right? Like if you're not feeling
Exactly.
supported, you can feel like you're
Hmm.
doing things alone. You can feel like you're doing life alone. Nobody wants to feel like they're doing life alone.
No, no, they do not. I know I don't. I know you don't.
Mm-mm,
So
no.
we're anchoring into two essential oils specifically, and they're one's an a la carte geranium, and the other one is a beautiful blend.
Before we
And
go too far into that, though, let's read that
Mhm.
third question because I think that third question is very powerful. So let's read that third question really quick. What do I need to feel safe enough to heal from painful patterns and believe I deserve love? I think that's a very deep question. Um, because there are painful patterns. I think that some people who have felt abandoned, maybe you felt abandoned by a parent, maybe you felt abandoned by a loved one, maybe a loved one has passed away and you felt kind of abandoned. I mean, that's like an underlying tone. We go through the grief process, but some of that could be some abandonment right there. that you
Absolutely.
felt left behind, or you felt like that parent just left you for whatever. And that can bring up a lot of things, but I like, what do I need to do to feel safe enough to heal? Where's that safety space for you to start that healing process? Maybe you've never even looked at it that way before, where you've go, oh, maybe as we talk about this, as we talk about the different emotion, about the different oils, and talk about this emotion of abandon, I want you to realize it's not like a Punky Brewster thing where like she got left at a grocery store, right? Like this is like there's deeper stuff than this than can come up with abandonment or being abandoned, feeling abandoned. That's not just like you got left at a mall or a grocery store or whatever like that. Like there's some other things that might trigger that you haven't really thought of before, and it could be an underlying issue.
I agree. And so moving into this conversation a little deeper, we let's highlight Malama first, my friend. Malama, and I'm holding it up. So for those on YouTube, look at this beautiful bottle. Oh my
Love
gosh, I love it.
Bergamot.
I
So
love it
pretty.
so much. Malama is the essential oil of nurturing. And in this book, this beautiful book, it states that Malama invites individuals to expand their awareness and extend their care to all life on this planet. The natural world has given so much to humanity and now calls for preservation and protection, both for its own sake and for ours. So, this blend encourages looking beyond one's own front yard, seeking the well being of all plants and animals that share this earth. It reminds us that everything is interconnected. What happens to one happens to all. Malama asks individuals to tap into their inner wisdom and become clear of what they can do to make a positive impact for future generations. It encourages caring for and consoling others in their time of need, helping to resist the pull of an increasingly separate and disconnected world by choosing connection as often as possible. And I just wanted to sit there for a minute. This oil, this blend, this nurturing blend is saying, "Hey Vicky, hey Sarah, like are you feeling that separation, right? Abandonment, abandoned. This is going to allow you to tap into the beauty of connection rather than disconnection. We are very disconnected from source, from God, from our divine. There's a lot of distractions in this world, and that feeds into one feeling abandoned. It really does. And so I love that this blend allows us to tap in to choosing the connection, choosing people instead of the opposite. What is it that you like of Malama that you want to share, Sarah?
Um, well, when you were talking about like this idea of this disconnection, um, I think we are like we have social media, and I know we've talked about this like briefly on another podcast where you were talking about like we're not social anymore. Social media is
Mhm,
no longer social. We're not.
mhm,
We think because it's like a false connection. Okay, because we think we see some of their pictures of their vacation, we're connecting.
mhm.
But when was the last time you texted or called that person you're seeing pictures of their vacation? When
Yeah.
was the last time you had a conversation? And it's interesting because I just about a month ago, a little over a month ago, I connected with a friend from, like 30 years ago, okay? And we were talking about my dad's upcoming birthday party, and he was talking about possibly coming for the surprise party. And it had been literally like 30 years. Now, we had felt like we were connecting because we've been on social media friends ever since, Facebook came out, right? Like we've been friends on Facebook for that long.
Mhm.
And it was amazing to just chat and realize I am not really connected with this person very well. Like yeah, I might know their kids' names and their wife's name, like I know his name, his kids' names, his wife's name. I know where they've lived. Um, you know,
Surface level.
yeah. And I was like, it made me a little sad because my son is named after this guy. Okay. Like this is how close we used to be. We were so close that my son has two middle names. One of my son's middle names is named after this guy. Okay. Like this is how close we used to be. We used to be best friends. And like 30 years later, we're still like, it was an easy connection, right? Because when you have that friendship, it's easy to reconnect and make that connection again.
Hmm.
But it really was disturbing to me how much I have kind of missed of his life because there's only literally social media is only the highlight reels of what we actually put in, right?
That we
And
choose to
how
share.
many of you women are really good at this. We look and see which picture we're going to share based on if we look good or if it makes us look better, right? We don't
Hmm.
like you will never catch me on social media with like not, my hair crazy or in an unflattering. I will never post a picture. My husband, he might post a picture like that, right? But I will never post an unflattering awful picture, like a just waking up picture of me ever. I would never, I don't do that, right? Like I'm like, oh, remember from, the previous episode, we talked about perfectionistic. That's not perfection. So we wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Um, and I remember one time my sister-in-law, she like posted a picture of her laundry pile. And I remember being like, wow, she is so brave. I don't know if I would do that, right? Like, but that's the curated part, right? Like a lot of these influencers, some influencers are starting to come into real where you're seeing messy houses, but the comments are terrible.
Hmm. Some of
So,
them, it can be noisy. Can we sit here for a moment though? I hate to interject, but I don't want to lose my train of thought. One of the brilliant pieces that every influencer, okay, join us on YouTube. I'm using air quotes. They're really good at connecting. There's no secret sauce to them, friends. The consistency and connection, the opportunity, the vulnerability that they're showing. They're not more special than you. They don't have the it factor. It's that they became really good and comfortable with being personal and opening their life to all of that. I just wanted to highlight that. Kudos to those that are there. Anyways, go on, Sarah. Thank you.
no, but just like the idea that we are very disconnected. We are disconnected from reality sometimes
Hmm.
of that super curated s- social media curated, I should
Hmm.
say, life versus real life
Hmm.
versus in the trenches of life, right? Like
Yeah.
there's been times where I'm like, I would never show how messy my house was. Like it's like embarrassing. I wouldn't show that. I mean, now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, I'm a little bit more comfortable with that. If somebody just drops in on me, I don't like freak out and start like leaning because I like house is like it's fine. You can walk in, you're gonna probably see extra pillows on my couch or an extra blanket, right? Like it is what it is.
Hmm.
But there used to be a time where I would see somebody, coming up to my doorway, or they would be coming in my house, and I would have like almost a panic attack because I'm like, it's not perfect. It doesn't look, there's toys on the floor and there's blankets everywhere. And oh my gosh, like I would like have this panic mode. So anyway, back to Malama and like the connection that it creates, the connection of the nurture. It's the nurturing oil. It nurtures us so we don't feel abandoned, so we don't have that lack of connection or feeling left out or feeling unsupported or some of those other underlying things. That abandonment, I think, is the underlying emotion when we sit there and say, how am I feeling today? I could say I'm feeling lonely or left out or unsupported, but the underlying thing is I feel abandoned. Abandonment is that underlying emotion. It's the deeper level of
Hmm.
the feeling left out or lonely or unsupported or some of those things where we think we're in it alone, right?
Neglected,
Mhm.
unprotected,
Yeah.
disconnected. So it's here. It's here for the taking, friends. And I would absolutely diffuse this oil. I love it in a roller. Make yourself a roller. It is an amazing aromatic experience. It is so good.
It's
It puts a smile on, yeah, it just puts a genuine smile on your face. I put it around my neck. I put it on my chest. I put it on my pulse points, on my wrist, like everywhere. I
so.
even made a like bath salts, or not, no, sorry, not bath salts, like a sugar scrub for the shower with Malama because that's how amazing it is. So, friends, I do invite you to tap into its essence. Now, there is another essential oil that we wanted to highlight in this conversation today. And Sarah, I would love for you to take lead in this.
So this is I will fully admit this is an oil that I have a love-hate relationship with. There are times I absolutely love it, and there are times where I want to not smell it at all. I want it to just
Yeah.
sit in the back of some place where I can't even smell it through the cap, right? Like it's
Hmm.
for me, it is literally a love-hate relationship. There are days I am like, oh, I'm so into it, and then there's days where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I
Back
can't
up.
handle it.
Like, don't be
Yeah,
rude.
can't handle it. And when I first smelled it this morning, I was like, oh, that smells good. And then I was like, no, no, nope, there's something there. So that top note I hit, right? And I was like, oh, the top note of geranium, that was hitting good. But then that bass note came in and I was like, forget it. Never mind. I don't,
Mhm.
it's not my favorite. And so let's open the door and let's look at what geranium has to offer. And now you can diagnose Sarah's issues today because it's the oil of
Let's
love
be
and
friends.
trust.
We're all friends here.
Yeah. Um, so this one, it restores confidence in the innate goodness of others and in the world. This is probably the catch for me. Like, do I believe in the world is good? Ugh. Like
Depends on the
that
day you ask
that
Sarah.
sentence is like, yeah, exactly. Depends on the day for me. Do I believe that there's good in humans? Yes. Do I believe that there are a lot of humans doing good in the world today? Yes. Do
Okay.
I think overall humans are good? It depends on the day, right? Like it's a trust factor, right? It facilitates trust, especially when individuals have lost their trust in others due to difficult life circumstances. I do sometimes. There's times where I trust abundantly, and then there's times where I'm just like, you have lost my trust too many times for me to want to trust you ever again.
My wall's up. You got to earn it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's times I will admit that when there has been loss of trust in relationships, geranium encourages emotional honesty, love, forgiveness. It fosters receptivity to human love and connection. So, yesterday, I had someone text me and ask me basically if I would purchase something for them. Now, this is a person I have not talked to in probably 3 years. And they were like, and this I will preface this by saying this is not I wouldn't consider this person like a personally close friend, more of an acquaintance type of a person. And she has been known to me in the past of trying to play the system, like try to get people to pay for things for her. She's definitely a mooch, what I would consider a mooch. And she has mooched off of another mutual friend for way too long. And I simply said to her, well, I'm sorry you're going through that right now. But there's no way I can help you in this situation. I'm so sorry. And then she, sends this like victimhood type, I'm just a failure. And I'm like, you're not a failure. You're just going through some hard things, but things will get better for you, I am sure. But yeah, at this time, I don't think I can help you with that.
Hmm.
And it wasn't like a little ask. It was like a $250 ask.
Hmm.
I'm just like we are not again haven't talked to this person in 3 years and we're on a surface level acquaintance level. This is not a good, close personal friend. If that was Vicky, if it was Vicky who called me, done. It would be done, right? But this person has never gained my trust. I've never had other than like literally a surface level, almost like social media level
Yeah, she
relationship with
pops
this
up on your
person.
feed and that's about it.
That's it. That's
Hmm.
it. Like literally, and not even very often. So I have a hard time trusting certain people. If you're in,
Hmm.
you're in. If you're not, you're not. Like
Hmm.
it's that way. But geranium helps us to heal. It helps to heal that broken heart, helps us to learn to trust again when trust has been lost time and time again. Um, but it does encourage emotional honesty and helps us to facilitate when we have grief come up for us, or pain. A lot of times the things that we've been suppressing the most.
Yeah, and that there, like there's a in the second paragraph in the book, get the book, read it over and over again. And I know I can only speak for myself, but that is where the love hate that we're talking about comes in, the friction, because I was not ready or willing, let's be honest, willing to do the work, walk through the pain that has been suppressed for so long. And geranium is that beautiful oil that builds the bridge for you to walk on, to walk through it. It's an awesome ally, but let me tell you, it's like a rose bush. Roses are beautiful, but it has those thorns to protect it. There's thorns for a reason. So, anyways, I didn't mean to interject again,
No,
but
no.
that's where I
It
get caught up. I
it
have.
helps to soften our anger though. There's a lot of times where we're angry about a situation, about being abandoned, about not having the support, about not being fitting in, about not being a part of the group or whatever.
Hmm.
And this softens some of that anger and it helps us to start healing those emotional wounds that we're carrying around with us. Um, sometimes it's kind of like think of that thorn idea of the rose. If it's just stuck inside of you, constantly festering, you have to pull it out. You have to
Yeah,
pull
you
it out
can't heal.
and clean it. You can't just pull out because you still have like stuff in there, right? You have to, when you get a wound, you have to pull the thing out. You have to clean it out really good and then
Hmm.
allow it to the time to heal and stop picking at the scab and
With
trying to break.
the amount of proverbial wounds that we pick at and open up again, why do we do that as humans? Like someone put it in the comments below because I would love to know your theory on this.
Yeah, why do we torture ourselves and like open ourselves back up for some of those things?
Yeah.
But this is this is an emotional healer. So if you are looking for some emotional healing, if you have dealt with so much stuff in the past, this is going to be a great oil for you. And
Hmm.
you may not be ready for it. You may smell it and go, "Ooh, no, thank you." Right? But if you sit there and you go, "No, I listened to your questions that you asked at the very beginning, and there's something there." I'm going to invite you to just at least put it on the bottoms of your feet, not where you smell it, but where it can just still reside and start to maybe soften the edges of some of this anger, this hurt, this betrayal, these things that you're feeling. Allow it to soften you a little through time and through the doing the emotional work and pulling out the thorn and cleaning it out and doing that work. It will start to heal and it'll heal faster if you allow it to. So I say use the geranium. It's so gentle. Like you can use this on children and babies because it is gentle. It's very good for the skin, very softening. And I think that's like, if you think about like the metaphor of this, it's very softening for the skin. Think about it's softening your heart as well, right? It softens that leathery, like I don't know if you ever get like dry, cracked heels or anything like that.
Hmm.
Geranium is like the best thing in the world for those dry, cracked heels, bar none. But think about it. It's softening that dry, thick, hard skin on your feet, just like it's doing to your heart. It's softening that dry, thick layer of keeping you out from feeling hurt, starting to soften it
The
so you can
hardening, the
start to.
callousing of, right? The body's protective layer in a sense that doesn't need to be there. It doesn't need to be protected in that way. I agree. Sarah, it just dawned on me, you know, losing my father-in-law a little over a year ago now. Oliver is using geranium for a certain reason. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's been taking this internally. And there's been some things that have come up and releasing, but I'm like, oh my gosh, the inadvertent, benefits of using geranium. Like I'm connecting these dots while you're talking. I was like, this is wild. And it's so beneficial. And I'm grateful because it's not loud. It's not in your face. It speaks on the soul level. And in the book, it states geranium could be called the emotional healer. At the root, geranium heals the heart, instills unconditional love, and fosters trust. And I'm like, it is so doing this. I love it.
Yeah, I can't say anything more about it. Like I think it's a great oil. I know we've talked about geranium before, but like really going diving a lot deeper into the emotional parts of this. Um, I personally like this in roller bottles. Like I like it topically for me personally. I like it topically. I dilute with in when I use a roller bottle. I'm 95% of the time I dilute. And I like to use this with other oils, mainly because again, there are some days where I'm like, I love it. And there are other days where I'm like, ooh, I'm not ready for you right now. Um,
Hmm.
but it's really good with Ylang Ylang. I love it with Ylang Ylang.
Mm.
Ylang
What's your
Ylang,
ratio? Are you going to put that in is that a scoop? Because I've been
yeah.
playing with ratios. I have both in my bathroom, my master bath, for a reason because I love to apply it. I love to apply it topically after a shower or a bath.
Hmm.
And so I'm due to make another roller of Ylang Ylang with geranium. So yeah, I guess I'll be looking in the comments because I'm still playing with the ratio. But together, I agree. They're really good together.
I usually do like a because Ylang Ylang is a very potent oil as well.
Hmm.
It can be very potent for some people. I remember the first time I ever smelled it, I thought it smelled like burned bananas.
It
Like
reminded me of old lady.
I,
And I love it though. I love it now.
it made me think of like burned bananas or burned plantains. Okay.
That's fantastic. That's wild. I'd never thought
Yeah.
of that.
I don't know why, but the first time I smelled it,
Okay.
I was like, it's good, but it's bad. Like it's got this burned banana. It's kind of I don't know. Because now when I smell it, I don't smell that same thing, but I remember smelling it for the very first time and thinking, and for like months, it wasn't just like one time. It was like for the first few months I got into oils and geranium smelled like burned bananas to me. I don't know why. It's so weird. Now I love it. But I usually go a little bit heavy. I probably do like a 3 to 2. So like
Mm.
3 for 2 geranium. Does that?
That makes sense to me. Yes. You can always add more friends. So
Oh,
you
if you're
get to
like in
choose.
love
Like,
with it, then please, by all means, add more to it. Um,
mhm.
this is also really great with bergamot. Have you ever put it with bergamot?
Geranium?
Yeah.
No. In a
Okay,
roller?
bergamot, ylang ylang, geranium. Mm-hmm.
Those three together? No, I've used it a la carte and I'm currently using all three, but like different reasons. What?
Yes, put it in a roller together. I go, so if I was to do this, like the ratio I would use would be a 4 bergamot,
Hmm.
3 2 geranium, but like I would obviously that would be what I would put in a diffuser, right? Like that would be the
Hmm.
ratio I'd put in a diffuser. But if I was putting it, I would probably, okay, here's my rule of thumb. Do you want to hear my like secret rule of thumb?
I do. The listeners would love it.
So if it's a 5 milliliter bottle, I usually do 3 times the whatever. Okay, so 3 times If I just said 4 bergamot, I would do 3 times that. So it would be 12 in a 5 milliliter bottle, right? So I would just 3 times that formula. If I'm doing, if I'm doing a 10, then I do like 5 to 6 times.
Mm.
So there's kind of like my secret sauce of ratios. If you're looking at a ratio, when I give you, if I give you a diffuser blend and you're like, this is amazing, there's my ratio in my head of what I do for a 5 and a 10. So
Mm.
if I'm giving you a 5, or if you opposite, if I'm giving you a roller bottle and you're like, I love the smell of this, I want to diffuse it. Now you know my ratio. There you go. There's my like secret sauce for my ratio. I don't know if that's my scoop, but there you go. That would
Yeah.
be a good scoop, I
I loved
guess.
it. I think that that should be your scoop. So friends, if you are anchored into feeling abandoned at any capacity, I really hope this resonated with you today. I hope you take the pieces that will help you work through it. Again, you are so not alone. You can always connect with us on a personal level. We are essential emotions coaches. We love what we do. And Geranium and Malama are great tools for you to support the work that gets to be done to move through it. You're not alone, friends. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode and are feeling inspired to dive in even deeper into the world of essential oils. Want exclusive offers, content, and recipes? Click on the newsletter link in the show notes today. Looking for even more wellness inspiration? Dive into our previous episodes and stay in the loop by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the Essential Oil Scoop Podcast. Thanks for being a part of our essential oil family. And remember, hit the subscribe button to be notified every time we upload a brand new episode.